Tell me again what you said. What I really liked what you said about Belle Isle has different personalities.
Yeah, well, it has different personalities. I say people can come out here and pretty much get what they want to get. In a sense, if you want somewhere to just be at peace with yourself, sit down, read a book, meditate, and just relax. Even on the busiest of days, you can always find somewhere to do that if you want. Family activities, family reunions. Most of our families gather out here. Behind me, every year for the family reunions. I don't know how many we do because we have like 20 shelters or canopy areas, or I'm trying to think of the right word. Shelters, basically, is what we call them. They're typically booked up every weekend. Then after that, people just fill in green spaces, and you just have family reunions going on all over the park every weekend. So you have your family activities, over in this area you have the playground area where, again, the kids and everything go and play. You have the beach area again, a different area, for a different activity. We have our athletic fields, getting different activity, different people doing things. We got the soccer fields, we have the handball course, the racquetball course. You go to the handball course, you find a lot of senior citizens over there playing handball, and young folks playing handball, or depending on what time of day, you have a different group playing racquetball, and they're just outdoors recreating differently. You go on the backside of the island, where a lot of young folks like to hang out at. I call it the 18 to 30-year-old crowd. They like to hang out there. That's their spot. They come out during a certain time of day. It gets kind of chaotic and crazy back there because there's so many people, just back there enjoying themselves. Or you go back by the lighthouse area again, somewhere that you can go and just relax and be at peace, regardless of what activity is going on in the park. I mean, this past weekend with boat races going on, we had thousands of people here in the park. But there's always somewhere to find some peace. There's always somewhere to find some activity, where it's very active at. And it really just depends on what you want to do out here. Even though we've lost some of our amenities out here, such as the Children's Zoo being closed or the old golf course being closed, people still love Belle Isle. They come to Belle Isle. We get, somewhere close to 5 million visitors a year. That number can go, it can go up or down. It depends. And this year, with it being unseasonably warm early, it's going to be interesting to see what the numbers will be at the end of the season, because it's been very, very busy here on the park. But again, people can come out and enjoy themselves, and no matter what they want, they can find somewhere where they can get either a lot of activity or minimal activity. So,
What, as the park manager, what's the biggest challenge that you have to face?
Right now, one of our biggest challenges right now is, of course, resources. It's just not enough dollars to do what has to be done here. One thing I mentioned before was that I speak with a lot of people out here, the visitors. I'm in the park a lot. I talk to visitors all the time. And one thing they always ask me, is why don't we charge to get on Belle Isle? People that I encounter would love to see a fee to get on Belle Isle, as long as the money goes directly back into the park. And I think there's enough visitors here that, the number of vehicles that come across the bridge every year, with that number, I think there's enough there that needs to be looked at, because there may be enough money there to actually give Belle Isle what it needs. But again, I think at some point they've got to find other revenue streams, look into those areas, and come up with what's going to be best for the island. But I just know that with the number of visitors that come and encountering and talking to people every day that I'm here, they all, 98% of them would say they would like to pay a fee to come on Belle Isle.
If we hit the lotto and money's no object, tell me what the priority list is for Belle Isle.
Wow, you asked me that question. It brings a thought to mind when I think the lotto was $200 or $300 million. I went out about 2 lotto tickets, same number, one for me and one for Belle Isle. And it's when we were going through, I think, one of the budget crises. This year we're going through a budget crisis. The budget was being discussed, and I said I'm buying 2 lotto tickets. one for me and one for Belle Isle. Same number, we'll split it, you know. And if given that kind of money, there's so many priorities here. As I look around the park every day, you know, you see things that are visual, that would make an immediate impact, so people will see just, you know, what's being done in the park. And as we were talking, I was looking out the window and I said, you know, the band shell, just looking around me, I could just see just so many things that could be done. The band shell could use restoration work. The Caroline Tower needs restoration work. That would be an immediate visual thing, and these are just examples. I mean, the casino needs to work, but you really can't see it. That, you know, it needs some tuck pointing and masonry work, you know, those type of things. The horse stables that we're looking at, we're getting a new roof put on thanks to the Belle Isle Women's Committee, which is now part of the Belle Isle Conservancy. Thanks to them, you know, for their efforts and contributions to get this done. Some people may notice the roof, and some may not. But these are things that are visual, and these are some things that are not visual that really needs to be done. As I mentioned earlier, we have a new energy efficient heating system, you know, that heats up our campus here, where the administrative office is, the greenhouses, the aquarium, the conservatory. Through our general services department, they were able to obtain some grant dollars to get this thing done. You can't see those improvements, you know, but they're needed, you know, and it'll save us some money and time. And so there's just so much can be done that needs to be done. So it's just a matter of just sitting down and prioritizing, getting a priority list together, and then just putting the dollars where they go. And it's not going to happen fast. I think there's some things you can do that would be immediate. You know, if I just wanted to make an immediate improvement, I would start maybe at the front of the park, you know, just with some of the shelters that people use every year. Got a helicopter flying over, sorry. But, you know, the boathouse where the police officers had a harbor, you know, they could probably use some dollars there. I mean, that's just coming into the park, you know, as you get in. But the people utilize these shelters every year for their family reunions, you know, just starting there. I mean, that's small, you know. So the list is long, but given the resources, I think it can be done. You know, I know it can be done. So.
Is public safety an issue on Belle Isle?
In spite of what some people may think, no. We get a lot of visitors here every weekend and throughout the week. And one thing I like to say about our police presence here on the island, even though it's small in a sense, their presence is here. I mean, it's not rare to see a police car go by now and you see another one in a half hour, or 45 minutes, even an hour. I like to oftentimes say that Belle Isle is a microcosm of what our city could be if the same presence we have here on Belle Isle was in our communities in the city. You know, so it's very safe out here. Like I spend a lot of hours out here, and I wouldn't spend the number of hours that I spend out here if I thought it wasn't safe. You know, and I don't spend it holed up in the office. I'm actually out in the park engaging people and trying to educate them on how to positively utilize our park. So it's very safe.
People who've never been to Belle Isle, how do you try to describe it to them?
Oftentimes people, they've never been to Belle Isle, or may have, not necessarily negative, but a notion or a thought of what Belle Isle is, you know, or even just working here. You know, it is one of those places you have to see it, live it, experience it to believe it. Especially doing what I do every day and trying to explain to people, you know, how wonderful this place is, but how much it takes to manage it and keep it up. And if you try to, and people, you know, they kind of try to sympathize with you and say they understand. And I look at it. I look at it this way. I remember in the college days, my professor would talked about parks and national parks and why they are national parks. And one thing she really, you know, kind of just stuck with me was the sequoia trees, the giant sequoias, which are you find in the Sierra Nevada range out west, or Sequoia National Park in California. and she used to always tell us about them, saw pictures of them. I'm pretty sure many other people have seen pictures of them and heard about them. And one year, I was fortunate enough to go and visit the giant sequoia trees. And when I saw them, it just blew my mind. No pictures, no stories, no nothing could describe to me what, prepare me for what I was about to see. And when I saw it, I just fell in love with it. It was just amazing, you know. And so when people ask me about Belle Isle, you know, or have questions, and they haven't been here, you know, I try to explain it to them and try to dispel some of the myths that people may have. I explain to them, this is my sequoia tree, your sequoia tree, you know. Come and live it. Come and visit it, you know. And it's more than what you've heard in a positive sense, you know. And it's just a great place to be. But you have to really live it, you know, work it. And even to those that look at coming here and getting involved and doing things, you know, you just have to be prepared, you know, because anything that you may have heard or seen, you know, you just got to live it and feel it, you know, and then, you know, take it in. And that's basically what I did. I saw the sequoia tree, and I look at Belle Isle, this is my sequoia, because even coming here as a park manager, I had, you know, different thoughts or feelings or whatever it was. And I got here, it was in a good sense, you know, it was unbelievable. You know, it's unbelievable to see the kind of people that come here every day, despite what people may think, you know, and enjoy this park. You know, people really enjoy it. It's just something you just got to see, live, feel, breathe, you know, and that's what I do. Yeah. I don't know if I hit it like